Welcome back. It's been a while. We haven't seen each other in weeks, I think. Yeah. Or make it months even.
Where have you been?
Throughout the United States, everywhere and nowhere.
Can you get the microphone a bit closer, Kees?
Let's
I know maybe it's so long time ago that...
I need to get used to everything, like the setup, and a lot has changed here in the studio. So I hope you guys at home see this as well. But great to be back and great to see you guys in person again. So that's very good.
Yeah, it's a favorite moment of the week, of course. Unfortunately, Kenny is not with us anymore.
Nope.
It was a bit tough for him to combine it with his job, or let's say his ownership of building his business. And apparently he became a Rivian fan. So then
we lost him.
We lost him.
We will invite him for some deep dives now.
Exactly.
I mean, he will not be here on a weekly basis.
I know he's still his biggest position is still Tesla. So he always say he's a zuinige ziel. That means he's from the Zeeland part of the Netherlands, and those people are very frugal.
Zuinige ziel, is that what you say?
Yeah, that's what you say. So frugal
souls.
No, not souls, but Zeeuwish people.
Zeeuw, as in like in Zeeland.
Exactly.
Okay.
New Zealand, Zeeland.
Yeah.
So one thing is for sure that Kenny will be on top of his portfolio. So probably when we see the stock getting some rallies again, his enthusiasm will probably return.
And that's the right timing to invite him.
He is where he always wanted to be, behind his desk within Excel.
In Excel, exactly. No, but shout out to Kenny. Thanks for everything so far, and just excited to be together again and do our favorite thing, talk about everything Tesla
non-stop. But yeah, there's a lot to cover, and I think also a lot that has been covered. So like, it's not really worth it to discuss it. But
how was your trip first?
Yeah, let's start with your trip.
Yeah, with the trip?
Yeah,
7 weeks of US. Where to start?
You started in Austin.
We did one episode when I was in Austin, where you got very excited by my
I was indeed
my robotaxi hunting session, and I saw a lot of people actually multiple times throughout the US. So after Austin, I flew to Michigan, and in Muskegoon there was this Tesla event organized by the Tesla Owners Club Michigan and the Rebellionaires. It was like, there was a super exciting light show, and I've never seen so many Cybertrucks in one place. It's like, I never see one here. And then I drove up there together with Matt Smith, and it was just Cybertruck. And every Tesla influencer, was present. And it was actually very funny that some people came up to me and said, like, Kees, right? You're Kees, right? From
Kees.
and I didn't recognize them, and like it's a very weird thing to realize that you travel to the other side of the world practically, and people recognize you. And that's been a fun experience. Met a lot of, well, of course, like-minded people.
And how did they recognize you? Because of what?
Not because of my...
Did you have the shirt on with Kees on it, or?
No, but like this lovely face here.
No, but did they know you from X? Or from YouTube?
All from X. I think nobody...
From this podcast?
Nobody really knew what this podcast yet. Like maybe a couple, but like Brian from Futuraza. But of course, like we met each other online before that, and I was a guest in his show as well. Was a very cool event, packed with Tesla nerds and all the Tesla influencers. Had a great time. And then the day after, I started driving together with Todd McSween. You know him as well. And we drove to Nebraska, picked up another car, and then we did a whole convoy through Kansas, Missouri, Tennessee, and then North Carolina. Almost past Larry, but sadly timing didn't match up, so I couldn't see him there. And then I went up the north to the northeast, Washington, D.C., New York, Philadelphia, and then I went back to Niagara Falls, did everything on FSD in a Model Y, FSD V12, so not V13, sadly. But still, it was mind-blowing to experience. And I needed to bring that car back to Charlotte. And then from Charlotte, I flew back to Detroit because I'm at the previous event. I met someone who was willing to give me one of his cars that I could drive all the way to San Francisco without the need to drive it back, because in a Turo rental, you need to bring it back to the same place. So very fortunate that worked out. And with that vehicle, also a Model Y, but then a performance, I went all the way to the West Coast, all the national parks, ended up in San Francisco, and then went to the X takeover, where I saw Elon digitally. But Lars Moravi was there, which was really cool. Very cool to see him in person, meet him in person. And like all the sponsor companies that I also already knew from the last time in the Flagau event, like the guys from Enhance Autos, met those people as well, met the guys from Unplugged Performance. They make terrific rims and stuff for your Tesla. So got to feel and then touch the wheels that I want to have on my car. Met some amazing people from Tesla, went to the Gigafactory in Fremont and to the store in Fremont. Saw Optimus again, saw Optimus and Semi, by the way. Did not see a Semi in real life. That was kind of a bummer. And I drove Cybertruck a couple times, which was awesome.
Okay, can you also tell a little bit more about your FSD experiences? Since for me, the last time I've been driving with FSD is almost now 1.5 years ago.
Yeah.
During my Austin visit as well. And I was amazed by the capabilities already then, but now we're 1.5 years ahead. Still not in Europe, but that's a different discussion. Yes. Maybe you can touch some light on that as well. But just very curious how your FSD experience was, and maybe especially for Dutch and European audience, tell a little bit about the advancements here.
Yeah. I had 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 very distinct experiences. So I tried FSD V13 in Cybertruck.
Yeah.
Worked perfect, but the car can't reverse yet. So that's a little bit annoying. Made some minor mistakes when you go outside of the city of Austin. So like in Austin, it's very capable, but outside of it, it still makes some mistakes. And those mistakes are mostly due to navigation issues. So like when the map data isn't updated, then it runs into some difficulties, which it will solve in the end by itself. But like as a human being still behind the wheel supervising, you think like, why are you doing this, you know? So that was the first FSD experience I had there.
In that sense, FSD, Elon always talks about, are we living in a matrix, yes or no, right? So, your comment about the maps being sort of causing sort of difficulties is like playing a computer game and trying to get to the end of the level and see where you can get. But in that sense, FSD is like an infinite computer game, because you can it will drive around like it forever.
Exactly, it will go in circles, definitely until it reaches the destination. And sometimes it even feels like you're in a video game, because it's like you're sitting behind the wheel and like observing everything.
You're not the main character anymore, right? Because normally you're the driver, you're literally in the driver's seat, and that determines everything. So you type in your destination, and from there on, it's...
You're kind of the director of the video game. You can set the destinations and like have a helicopter view from a distance. And then if it makes a mistake, you intervene and like you direct it towards the correct solution.
Yeah. But you're still in the car. So
just like those safety operators.
Exactly. Yeah. So that was Cybertruck. Then I did Model Y, the new Model Y. Very smooth as well and very impressive. Then when I flew to Michigan, I got into Matt Smith, his car. He drives a Model X, a new one. Similar experience where navigation sometimes ruins the experience, or makes mistakes. And then I switched to V12. And V12 and V13 are worlds apart in terms of performance. And then also within the Model Y, there's a difference in build year, how the software reacts. So the first 7,000 miles I did was, I think 95% I did on FSD. And that was a 2022 Model Y long range. Better interior camera. And what I noticed is I could do practically everything and be distracted a little bit more. So I had more time to look around me and do something in between, and not get a notification or a beep like take over or pay attention to the road. And in general, I was really pleased with how it performed. And it even came to a point that FSD is better than I am. And I consider myself as a good driver, but not in a place where I don't know the roads yet. And FSD is your taxi driver. So in a city like New York City, well, it's known for its traffic. I just decided switch on FSD because it never makes a mistake. It never misses the exit, and I would end up missing exits, people honking at me, because you need to pay a lot of attention to different things, and especially if you're new to an area. So that's where I was very, very impressed. Side note is that on highways where you would have, sometimes you could go into an express lane, which was closed off and clearly visible, like express lane closed. FSD, from every single time, it tries to steer in a closed lane. And those are seemingly very easy problems that you would fix and that FSD wouldn't need to make. Like it doesn't know how to read. Well, probably it does, but like you could fix it, but that's not fixed yet. But then you become aware of it. So like I supervise and it never gets out of hand. But like imagine if you're not paying attention at that time and it steers and you don't have the reaction, the response time to intervene, that could be a possible dangerous situation. So it's still not fixed. And the funny thing is, the more crowded and more complex the traffic scenario or situation is, the better it behaves. Because if you're driving on these Nevada or like highways where you have just like two lanes and no traffic, it will sometimes do really weird stuff. So you see tire marks on the road and it will try to go around it because it detects it as an object or something. Or when you have where the tarmac is like repaired, so you have this patch, the camera will see it as like a hole and it tries to drive past it, even with oncoming traffic. And then you get scared. And probably it will not touch the other vehicle, but then still that's a little bit scary from time to time. And what I found annoying is when there's no traffic around you, and let's say the speed limit is 70, it will drop speed to 60, 59, and it doesn't go to the speed limit. That's really weird behavior. And I would love to see that differently, because the setting you do in the Tesla is a 40% offset of the speed limit. And the other side of that coin is when you're trying to overtake a truck, for instance, instead of slowly passing it, it accelerates to get out of the situation and then goes to the right again. So then it's very safe that it exceeds the traffic limit. And also it's based on, of course, machine learning. So everybody in the US drives over the speed limit. So the speed limit might be 60 and everybody drives 70. FSD will do the same. And in the end, that's safer because then like the traffic flow is safer than adhering strictly to the speed limit. So that was in this car, and like it allowed me to clip my fingernails, open my yogurt, put some cereals in it, and then some jam through it, and then eating my yogurt whilst driving and looking around me, and it just behaves perfectly. But when I went to the 2020 Model Y performance, like one of the first ones, I would get notifications and the steering wheel nags nonstop. It's even where I got my first strike, where like I was paying attention but a little bit distracted. That was really annoying, and that actually resulted in me disabling FSD a lot of the time, because otherwise I would get annoyed by the beeps and all the warnings. But I found a life hack. If you put on your sunglasses, it can't see if you're looking at something else. So then you can be distracted a lot more. So don't try this at home.
So what you're saying is that dependent on the hardware, it makes a difference in FSD.
Exactly. And also not
and
only...
there are probably also a whole bunch of versions that are being
are we talking that you were on the same software version? Or
it's exactly the same builds, same software version, but the one is AMD Ryzen processor and the other is the Intel processor. The Intel processor is a lot more insecure in its road behavior, where I would step on the throttle a lot more or don't really accept the behavior of the vehicle. Whereas the AMD Ryzen car, I just let it do everything. And I was very convinced of how far we actually are with the software.
And did you discuss this with, for example, the car owners as well? Did they experience the same? Or
a couple, yes. And I posted about it and tried to gauge how the community thinks about it. But everybody's now, all the influencers are driving, of course, V13. So they're not even bothered with V12 anymore. And
so which versions were you driving with?
V12, the most of my miles were V12. And they were all right. V13 is a lot more confident.
What are your
a lot
expectations
more smooth.
For V14?
Well, Elon says it's supposed to be like a 10x improvement, right?
On certain metrics.
Yeah. And in V13, I felt almost confident enough to not be in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
And when did you experience V13? Was that in the Cybertruck in Austin?
Yeah, it was in Austin in the Cybertruck and in the Tesla Model Y. And
which part of the US did you drive with V13?
13 was in Austin. In Austin, downtown and south of Austin. And later on in San Mateo, I drove with somebody else's car around the San Mateo, San Francisco area.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, this whole FSD infrastructure is a flywheel in itself, right? So the more data it gets, the more density it has with Teslas in a certain area. The better it gets, the better it gets. That's basically the flywheel what we see here.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to hear the first reviews on V14. And I'm also very curious to your experience on the first CyberCabs that you have been testing, because they're you've only seen them in the Austin area, right?
Yeah, and I saw a couple driving around.
You're talking about Robotaxi, not CyberCabs.
Yeah,
Robotaxi.
Yeah. I saw a couple of them driving around in San Francisco as well. But similar to the testing robotaxis I've seen in Austin. So the timing was just a little bit off. So when I left San Francisco, that's when robotaxi started in San Francisco.
And when you left Austin? Robotaxi started as
Yeah,
well.
so like, and I still need to score some points to upgrade my flying blue level to silver. So I'm thinking of doing a business class trip back and forth, and then I got my levels.
You get used to business travel. You're not allowed to go coach anymore.
It ruined me for life. Yeah.
No, it's great to hear your sort of real life experiences here.
Yeah.
And things are always developing so fast. And if I hear you talking about these type of problems, you realize how immensely difficult and complex this solving of autonomy is, right? Because you have a lot of interpretations that you need to work with. And in traffic, humans are actually quite good in making interpretations. So humans are very good in that. But it's the same like having a briefing to, let's say, 4 different team members, and 4 different team members go out and, do the work. They do a whole different thing. And
you think you're aligned, but then the behavior is differently.
Then the behavior is totally different.
Yeah.
And that's the sort of complexity that you have with humans in general, right? So if you, for example, I also see that I'm currently building an e-commerce store with AI, using a lot of Lovable, using a lot of Shopify, custom build blocks, and then also use Grok to basically come with briefings and so. So I have
3, 4, 5 different AIs.
Yeah,
helping you.
I will share my mindset on that in a bit. But then you write out a sort of briefing on what do you the prompt of what you want the AI to do. And then sometimes you see it executing something. Something says, well, that's a way how you could, interpret my message.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's better, and sometimes it's totally off, right?
Yeah.
And that's the same experience that you have with humans. So, for example, if you want to have a logo for your brand, for example, you go to 99 designs.
One designer will make like the best designs, and the other one will make terrible or less good designs.
There's a taste element in that.
Yeah.
And also in traffic, you have a couple of absolute situations, like don't drive into a wall or don't drive into other things. But there are also a lot of
There's also driving style nuances, which you can prefer.
Many nuances, or sort of risk appetite, what you then have,
and non-verbal communication that you sometimes have.
Also cultural differences. I've been to Sri Lanka for a month. There's a whole different level of driving.
100%. Yeah,
I was in Sicily, so more lighter experience there.
At first, I needed to get adjusted to left-hand driving. So every time I went on the crossing, it said right side is suicide, don't do this. But also the honking in the Netherlands, if you honk, you are like pissed.
Yeah.
You're like, get the fuck out of what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, and it's seen as rude as well.
Yeah, but in Sri Lanka, it's like, hey, hello, I'm here.
Yeah, it's normal communication.
It's communication. So everybody's honking and like...
Yeah.
They're playing a rhythm.
In Egypt, that's the same too. You have all sorts of different
exactly.
short honks or sort of signaling I'm around the corner.
Een vrolijke tutor. Boze tutor.
Yeah, but everybody also knows there that if there's like a big red bus coming, everybody goes away.
Yeah.
they are like the kings of the highway. So.
They're like the trams we have in Amsterdam, and they are the king of the highway.
Yeah,
exactly.
So it's
like the bikes here.
Yep.
I mean,
they're also,
So it's exciting to see how that rollout is going to play out, right? Yeah. So we see now first cities with robotaxis and hopefully end of this year a couple of CyberCabs. So that's a whole rollout, but FSD on itself. And one of the latest videos where Lars Morawi was on, he was with Lino's Garage again.
With Jay Leno,
Jay Leno. And they talked specifically about FSD and that the take rate is going to is increasing rapidly now. So normally the take rate on Model X and Model S was very high, but now they see the take rate on sort of the base models also increasing. So
that's
good news.
Yeah, that's of course good news. But I think when you have a good experience with new technology, normally one of Elon's philosophy is always that a new technology needs to be at least 10x better. Otherwise, the adoption curve will be too slow. So, for example,
you really need a use case.
And it needs to be good enough to change your behavior.
If you're very positive about full self-driving, the odds of you telling that to 10 or more people is just insanely high, right?
Yeah, about that. Sorry to interrupt you, but like with this, so my dad flew in, right? My dad flew to San Francisco. I let him experience FSD all the time when he was right beside me. And then we needed to change cars because I couldn't drive another Tesla from San Francisco to LA. So we went to a rental company, got a Ford Bronco, super cool car, V6, big American truck. Actually got more compliments about that car than the Model Y. But put that aside. But my dad was a little bit scared to drive in America. So I thought, okay, it might be a better idea if you just take the wheel of the Tesla, activate FSD, and I'll drive behind you. And that's exactly what we did. So he drove 30 minutes on FSD, first time in America, not driving a single mile by himself. And he got out of the car. He said, this is amazing. We need FDS as well. That is FSD. And then every single time he said, we should have had FSD here. And he's like, those effing legislators, why is it such a problem? So I could explain all the regulatory BS to him.
You hugged your dad, said, Dad, that's what I'm talking about for the last year.
And now at family birthdays, he is explaining like, we went to the US. Like he was super glad that he went. And he said like, the Tesla, the self-driving, it's amazing. I need it. So he's now trying to buy a new Model Y for in Spain. And he said, do I need to order enhanced autopilot or FSD on this car? I said, Dad, just buy the car and then afterwards switch to FSD. But as you know, we can't use it. But that's why I wanted to say this, because like the word of mouth, if you have a good experience, boom, it's...
Yeah, so then it makes a lot of sense. And then you have the factor of affordability, which is just a matter of time, right? Before that is being rolled out. So these are kind of things that can very positively, on the short term, sort of surprise in the numbers. And one thing I'm actually already excited about since 2016, but is now coming to fruition, is of course the Tesla Semi that will have some self-driving capabilities as well, because there's a massive shortage in truckers still. So it's very difficult to find drivers, but drivers are actually on the payroll and using the car like very frequent, right? So that's a high usage car that you then have. And the cost of an average driver is like 60,000-70,000 a year, especially for a lot of long haul traffic that you then have. So sort of the price tag that Tesla can charge for FSD capabilities on the semi-truck is so much more higher than just a regular car.
But do you think they will do that?
Tesla talked already in their presentation in 2016 and later on the semi-truck, also later semi-presentations I've been going through, that they have this vision of convoys. So you have one sort of lead driver that is driving in the front, and he just like you have like fleet managers for CyberCabs and robotaxis, you get sort of convoy drivers for semi-trucks.
So one driver in the front leading a convoy of autonomous vehicles?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Autonomous trucks.
Autonomous trucks. And then you have a whole number of benefits because in a convoy, let's say situation, you use one driver for, let's say, 3 to 4 trucks, or maybe 5 or 6. I don't know. I don't know how that will work out. But then you also have a lot of savings in electricity, because
there's like the slipstream effect,
exactly.
where you get less wind resistance, of course.
Exactly. So, and then you can think about the situation where the convoy switches every 250 miles or whatsoever. So that is, of course, that probably sort of if Tesla has so much data, and data can be used in their advantage, but with the rollout of the semi-truck, they can easily target the main sort of long haul routes that they have, because situations most of the semi-truck sort of distances that needs to be crossed are on those boring roads that you talked about.
Yeah, and then you can't have those silly mistakes that I've experienced.
No, that
exactly. Would be dangerous. Yeah,
and so there's a whole opportunity there of a whole new infrastructure that can be can be built out. And if you think about that whole competitiveness that you then have, if you can just cut costs of transport already by such a big factor, because that will be a 10x factor if that can happen. And that brings in all sorts of competitive advantages.
Affordability of products, because your delivery cost gets lowered insanely.
Yeah.
Yeah, robotrucking is going to be an
it will
amazing
compete,
use case.
It will compete with trains, not with. It can compete with the cost of a train. So, for example, if you want to have a container shipped from China to the Netherlands, you can do that by boat or you can do that by train. But in the future, that can also be done by trucks that are autonomous.
And when it's a convoy, it's practically already a train.
It's a train,
also in form factor.
And I don't know how scalable that is if you can have convoys of, let's say, 20, 30, 40, 50, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know those freight carrier trains that can have like endless convoys, and it's the same. It's there's one pulling that whole thing, and then it's just railroads, and off you go. So
we at Mr. Green have been dipping into the business case also of a Robotruck, and we went to Berlin to actually visit it.
Hannover.
Hannover. You were there as well.
Yeah.
And we also learned that it's not only the cost of the driver, but especially the cost of the energy and actually charging the truck has a huge impact on the business case.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm so interested about, what Elon is actually presenting right now, the Master Plan 4, where actually all those things are combined. So AI, energy, and the hardware, actually what they've been building the last 20 years.
Yeah.
There's now a new product coming, which has been built for the last 8 years, but it's now getting into production. And nobody's talking about it yet, but this is going to be like a convergence of all those technologies getting into a robot
the
truck.
Semi.
Yeah. So you need huge amounts of energy on the right places with good chargers. And I think we still as a community have very little knowledge about the whole business case.
Yeah.
And that whole industry is also lagging. So like the infrastructure, the charging infrastructure in general, not necessarily from a Tesla point of view.
I think Tesla hasn't been able to get to market yet because it's not yet as good as a normal truck.
No.
So exactly as you said, with technology, as Elon said, it's only interesting and it's only a business case if it's at least as good or maybe 10 times better.
Yep.
And I think the robot-trucking solution will be at least 10 times better than the current solution we have right now.
But reaching that inflection point takes a lot
more.
But
I mean, for robotaxi, everybody is already like aware it's going to cost only 25 cents per mile. You need a CyberCab, otherwise with the Model Y, you will not get to the 25 cents. We also know about the revenue. It will be around 1 mile per. But for robot trucking, we have no clue yet.
Nope.
You know? There is no.
Yeah.
At least I don't have it
yet. There are
but
some small scale alternatives, because when I was in Austin at this meeting with the city of Austin, they are actually investing heavily in doing tests on a smaller scale, of course, with autonomous medium to long haul trucking and short to medium trucking as well, around the cities on the highways. And there are some other players besides Tesla hitting the market as well. So if it's worth another deep dive, because this is a very interesting business case, of course, with huge economics behind it.
Yeah, for sure.
Also for Tesla. Huh?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
It's also going to be the case. Are they going to sell those trucks, or are they going to keep them themselves? Or
I don't know. Sort of Tesla logistics could be
together with Optimus.
Yeah, could be very.
They could disrupt Amazon.
They can. Easy. They can. At least they do a lot. Let's say it like that. And of course you need to build a lot and do a lot of things. And Tesla now seems to steer more towards a solution where they manufacture, deploy the software and hardware, and then let sort of the people work with the products. So they share that ownership of that. But there can also be you don't know. There are many kind of things that can happen. But Tesla is more and more moving towards becoming a very utilitarian company. And
maybe we should bring up the Master Plan 4, which has been released
I'll
12 hours ago.
I'll open it.
It's not very concrete, as we spoke about that, but there's definitely a lot of signs.
Yeah, I had a couple of things that stood out for me already when reading through it. Can you have it on the big screen, Kees? Yes, great.
Yeah, and I can do it even bigger as well.
Yeah.
Where's that button again? I still need to.
Yeah, so it starts with the new mission statement.
Yeah.
Getting to sustainable abundance, which is
talked about it a lot already.
Yeah, and also talked about in that book of Tony Seba, Stellar Economy, where we are going to switch from one economy, which is fossil fuel based, and it's based on capitalism, to a system where we're going to need a completely new money system, a capitalized system.
Which we've touched upon in a couple episodes
in a world where we get to abundance, where money is not going to play a big role anymore.
And labor.
Yeah,
like human labor.
Labor, energy, and
they don't touch about that in this tweet, but they start talking about, okay, this is what our goal is, this is what our mission is.
But this is actually what we needed
to a golden age,
and what we discussed before the holiday break we had, the summer break. But I can remember like what you guys were saying, like the thing we are missing the most is some guidance or a clear master plan from Tesla. Like where are we heading? And
no, not so much. I think for me this plan is not super surprising. I can follow all the steps, and those are very much in line with the earlier Elon interviews and what that. But where we talked about in the past is sometimes Elon, especially in shareholder calls, communicates this far ahead future, while sort of missing the points in between. That was where I think we talked about.
Yeah, but if we take a look at this post on X by Dave Lee, where he says, "I'm thinking this is just the intro to Master Plan Part 4, and the real Master Plan ought to have more specifics. Just my 2 cents." And I think he might be correct in that sense, because he's still still very high over, very general, and nothing really new than what we have heard the last couple of months.
What I'm very much in line with what Florian said about the semi truck. So what you see now is that Tesla talked about in this master plan, like we're already working 2 decades relentlessly on a whole range of technologies. And now is basically sort of the most exciting time of Tesla, because everything is now coming together. So
exactly.
time to hyperscale.
Yeah, hyperscale. But if you think about it, early stage Tesla, the Fremont factory, just one big mess. Tesla having no clue about manufacturing at scale, etc. So then they said that first they had the electric car technology, right? So that was the first step. Then manufacturing became more and more important.
Yeah,
so we went from sort of Fremont clusterfuck situation to Shanghai, which is more like a computer chip, like very efficient.
Yeah.
Every square meter is being used in the optimal way. And it's just input, bang, output on the other.
Still the best factory out there in terms of production figures.
Yeah, and they are still fine-tuning sort of the blueprint of those factories, which will come into fruition with the unboxing method with the CyberCab that is being launched. And also the Cybertruck, as we talked about, as well as like one big R&D project for Tesla. All new technologies in the car, but also a whole bunch of manufacturing capabilities. And then because we sort of know everything about Tesla, right? But then if you look at the smaller nephew of Tesla, for example, Starlink, those dishes and satellites also require very advanced ways of manufacturing stuff, right? So you need manufacturing for the satellites, you need manufacturing for those whole Starlink devices that now everybody is at home. And those are already millions and millions that are being put out there as well. So Tesla learned so much on manufacturing. So that's one thing. But what they have right now, and especially since the last couple of years, let's say the last 5 years, of which the last year is becoming more and more visible with Elon also heavily involved with XAI, is their software capabilities and combining all the hardware that they have and all the knowledge of the hardware with robotics. And robotics can be an Optimus, robotics can be a semi-truck, or robotic can be a car on wheels, a Tesla. So I was very excited that they talked about more products in that whole ecosystem that will leverage manufacturing. So hardware knowledge. So everything they know about robotics, everything they know about manufacturing cars, and then the whole software capabilities. And I was once reading an article that said, if you have the capabilities of building a car as a country, cars are one of the most complex things in the world to manufacture because there are so many parts. And then it's not only the car, but you need to hold the supply chain and all that supply chain headache. And Tesla learned so much on that. They have so much footprint now already in all the local continents that are
outselling and outperforming all the legacy OEMs out there.
Yeah, outselling, outperforming, and now, so for example, if Tesla can only replace already all their semis in their in their whole fleet, like all the semis they use themselves for delivery cars, that's already millions and millions. Yeah. If they can have shorter lines with Boring Company. To sort of deliver cars to the harbor or whatever, cars driving themselves to the parking lot and the harbor as well. That's billions in sort of efficiency gains already just out of that. And having that whole sort of full stack suite that is now set up for large scale, I think in many parts. So technology, full self-driving is coming to fruition. V14 will be sort of later stages of the sort of perfection that are now nearing. Yeah, better than human driving capabilities. Optimus will learn a lot. Then the hardware capabilities. So Tesla's ramp of Optimus will be one of the most aggressive ramp that they ever had in history. At least that's what Elon has been talking about in the early calls. But also the CyberCab will be one of the fastest ramps that we have ever seen. And then we have the manufacturing capabilities. So unfortunately, Mexico was not built. But their aim was to do it also in less than a year.
Record time.
Tesla is also very much set for their energy department, so that's also, of course, a very big factor, because all those initiatives needs to be powered at scale. So I think the future looks very bright, and this is also.
Let's watch the video of the master plan.
That's the thing that we can't do right now because I couldn't get the audio to work. But what is funny, like what you just explained, to have a visual with it, is see here. This is what they've done up until now. So master plan part 1, electrifying transport, doing the charging and the vehicles, then improving the energy solution, making the first steps with semi and autonomous trucking.
Yeah.
And then it's combining everything together, what they've learned. So putting the manufacturing together with AI and energy,
home charging,
to create sustainable abundance and to create infinite abundance in this future.
So let's walk through all those lines. So we see on the left, we see trucking.
Yeah.
Then we go up there, we see manufacturing, a machine that builds the machine.
Yep.
Then we see AI compute. Then we see industrial battery on top of that,
which are being sold a lot already.
Then we see bots. And the interesting about the bot is that the bot on the left is they work on the manufacturing-ish line, right? Yeah. Seems to do some packaging work.
And you can also interpret it as like maybe bots working in your home doing
that looks like
this the bot over here.
That's all the business to business part, and then you see solar, home charging, home batteries.
It's also interesting. The home battery is actually also like a battery. And now they have the industrial battery, which is called the Megapack.
Yeah.
But now they also introduced like a mini Megapack. So it's like 36 power walls together.
Wow, yeah.
So only in that part they will come with all different kind of
all
products.
sorts of products lines, exactly. And then you see Robotaxi, you see our Roboven and then
you see the Cybertruck, but we also already learned that maybe there will be a Cyber SUV,
which was in that video. So I've it's a sad thing that we can't watch the whole video, but I have a screenshot of it coming next to this. So
indeed, the Cybertruck was an R&D project, not only for getting newer kind of cyber types of products, but also for all other stuff.
Yeah, like 48 volt
architecture.
Architecture,
but also vehicle to grid. So you don't see vehicle to grid right now here.
Well, kind of, because home charging, they put it. You have the home battery. I thought I interpreted this Cybertruck as delivering power to the house, but misinterpreted.
Yeah. So this is. I think this.
So this what you're seeing here is, if the solar is big enough. So the solar, you only see it on the roof from the car park. But if it would be on the manufacturing plant, it would be a lot more solar. But can you imagine being everywhere, and solar is going to be like abundant? Yeah, and that energy will be provided through the whole system.
It's also very early innings. This is master plan part 4. This is the visible part, right? This is everything that is sort of not everything that is already being announced, right? But what I read in those master plan part 4 is they leverage all these capabilities to also expand their product portfolio in the coming years. So Tesla had the toughest challenges with Cybertruck, with semi-trucks, because they spent so much years in scaling the semi-truck, right? Yeah. And that is because they want to do it on such a high level that they just perfected all the time until it was on level excellence. But now everything beneath that or after it, those manufacturing challenges are not so crazy hard anymore.
Because the building blocks are there. The foundation to reach sustainable abundance is there. Yeah. And now it's just combining everything they've learned into hyperscale.
Hyperscale.
Getting that sustainable
Yeah,
abundance
Elon always
into
talks
reality.
about version 1, 2, and 3 of the product.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
and,
if you look at those products, which products are already in version 3?
I would say the vehicle, the still to be driven vehicles, so like Model 3, Model Y, are I think already V3. Manufacturing already V3. Industrial batteries the same. I think in terms of AI compute, I'm not really sure because Dojo was there, but then NVIDIA is like...
No, that's their inference chip. So it's AI6.
Yeah.
AI6 will be their V3 product.
These are super clusters, right? So this,
Charging network, very, very good already.
Yeah.
V4 even.
Yeah.
So Roboven and Robotaxi remains.
Still charging for trucking needs to be
perfect
rolled out, and
but
we have to learn how they're going to do that because I'm still not.
And this is the first semi yet.
But we have V1, 2, and 3, right? But we also have a couple of things that are for hyperscale. So, for example, the CyberCab is a hyperscale product. So they want to create infinite amounts of these CyberCabs for the roads the coming years. The Optimus bot will be a hyperscale project.
So actually CyberCab is like a V3 version of the cars.
Perhaps even the V4, where they take all the learnings they've had up until now in terms of manufacturing, doing the unboxed method, so like going into V4 already, and having the AI hardware in there and the correct FSD to be unsupervised. So maybe
I think how you stated it is correct. Like it's the V3 version of cars that we then enter. And probably we will see something like that with charging and batteries as well. Because charging, they entered the sort of V3 phase last year where they said we're not going to have our own installment teams anymore. We just manufacture as much as possible and we sort of outsource.
It's a good decision.
Yeah, outsource that responsibility of building that. Same what they have done with solar, for example.
Same what they're doing with charging.
Yeah, same what. Yeah, I talked about charging. So that
yeah,
is,
but also the operating part.
Yeah.
Not only the installing part, but also the operating part.
Yeah, so I'm very curious about sort of I would be very interested in sort of factory update because this is the Shanghai factory, right? So can you go back to that factory again? So this is more like what I talked about, that it's now more a sort of computer chip, right? Those factories.
This one, yeah.
Yeah, but that's already sort of old news. It's 2018 that they already had these kind of innovation. But also all those parts. So for example, body in white, the whole paint part is for the whole new for the CyberCab. It's not.
That's not even an issue.
Gone.
There's no more
gone.
paint. It's the paint is already in the materials.
Yeah, so there's already
color.
like 6 years of iterations. No, more years. Almost 8 years in iterations for that Shanghai factory. And I remember that Tesla was willing to be able to scale very aggressively on factories, but then AI and FSD came sort of in between. So Tom Tzu,
the VP of engineering, sales
in China, became VP of manufacturing to do the whole rollout of that. They built Shanghai 9 months, so they wanted to roll it out for all the rest. But now they had some different internal priorities to first fix FSD, and a whole bunch of other things that were going
because
on.
the geopolitical and economical constraints prevented.
It's all about CyberCab.
Yeah,
I mean there is no other product coming anymore. There's only the CyberCab coming.
Roadsters coming, but
of course,
the icing on the cake, right, or the cherry on the icing on the cake. But this whole blueprint is already there and advanced, and that will be like super exciting to see suddenly announcement of, let's say, 3 new factories or so. That can suddenly happen, and we all know how insanely big already like the whole Berlin area is, right? So there's so much more room for expansion over there.
Can you please elaborate on what you wanted to say? So they stopped the scaling of the factories.
Less aggressive.
Well, why? Because they didn't want to sell Model Ys anymore, or a Model Q or Model 2.
No, so all the resources
with the steering wheel.
Yeah, to FSD. And
so this decision has been made like 2 years ago by Elon.
Yeah.
He said, I'm not going to do that.
No, but the blueprint of scaling the factories is still there. That's my point. So we have not seen that in the last 2 years in sort of build out, although there's a lot of build.
And then there would be no point in it to build more factories, because like the demand for new cars, like de rek is er al een beetje uit. Like there's not much to be gained, and there's a lot more to be gained from focusing on FSD and AI. Yeah. Getting that thing tackled first, and then when that's tackled, then you need that manufacturing and those factories to build an insane amount of robotaxis and cybercabs.
The factory itself will be different as well, because you're going to build something
with
else.
Unboxed.
Yeah, but then the blueprint is already there and is improved over the last 8 years, right? So also there Tesla is set up for success to scale Optimus very fast, to scale CyberCab very fast. They don't have bottlenecks in manufacturing anymore to make that happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a very exciting thing to see as well, because one of the other developments over the last 8 years is that it's more and more vertical integrated. Raw materials in on the one part of the factory, and on the output of the factory is a car.
Yeah.
And no other manufacturer in the world has those capabilities at that scale.
Yeah, and that was super impressive to see in person at Giga Texas.
Oh, you also went there?
Yeah, I had the tour through Giga Texas as well. Tried to do a sneak peek in Fremont, but it's there.
But what did you see at the Giga?
I saw a Cybertruck manufacturing line and part of the Model Y line, but they were very secretive. So in terms of like experience, I would recommend you to go to Berlin, because you see a lot more, and they have way more company secrets at Giga Texas than they have in Berlin. So they're very secretive.
But you're not able to share one secret that you heard?
No, no. And I think I'm still under NDA. But what was the way they keep track of everything and measure everything. So there are whole teams of people with tons of screens with nothing but metrics. Like the speed per vehicle, how many vehicles produced in a day, and how long they've passed the set limit to produce a vehicle. But the cars were already driving themselves through the factory. But no real secrets to be shared here. But I think let's move on, because we've touched upon like practically everything, and we're still waiting on like more details on the master plan part 4. But what did we see? This is a post by Nick Cruz Patane, and this is what we're seeing right now is the first clay version of the design process of the CyberCab. But in the back, you see like these Cybertruck design vans.
SUVs.
Yeah, they look really small. So like scale models.
I like how that window is like...
this
like
one?
The shape of... No,
this one.
Black window.
The back.
No.
Back
The other. Yeah.
Here.
Looks cool. No, but it's clear that there will be many variations.
This could seat like 8 persons.
Yeah, and this is what Tesla does in these videos every time.
Yeah.
They stuff it with small hints and sneak previews of what's to come. And like the first 2 times you're looking at it, it's like, oh, it's just a video. But then like you gotta love X for this, because there are people like detailed focus on it coming out with these hints.
But it can also be that they are just trying out a whole bunch of designs and testing things, right? So it's not an announced thing, but For me, the whole message of a master plan part 4 is that all the capabilities for doing this at a very large scale are there. All the technologies are already there, and now it's just like Elon said. We have a shot to become world's most valuable company by far. Only if we execute like hell. There's so much things.
Kind of waiting until November, till the compensation plan is in place. And the voting has been done for probably the stake in the XAI, and I think from there on we will get a lot more information and a lot of more speed in reveals, etc.
Now that you say this, because a question to the both of you. Earlier this year, we discussed something that Elon has said. 2025 is going to be epic, and 2026 was supposed to be ridiculous, right?
Mm-hmm.
26, 27, yeah.
Yeah, the 25 was epic. 26 would be ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Looking back on 2025, what we've seen up until now, like we've reached September. So has it been epic in your point of view? And that's first to ask it to you.
Yes.
Yeah? and what makes it epic in Tesla terms?
Well, I don't know if you can remember, but when you went to the US like 2 months ago, you were supposed to go to a robotaxi kind of first ride.
Yeah.
And now we're talking about it as if it is a normal product.
Yep.
We're already talking about all the scaling issues, and then even people say that we're not scaling fast enough, etc. But if you would have asked me in January, how is robotaxi actually going to be on the road, would that be epic? We would have said, yeah, that will be epic.
Yeah.
So if we go further in time, like in 2030, you would say, what happens in 2025? Launch of robotaxi service.
Yeah.
So that's why I say, yeah, this is the moment we've been waiting for the last 5 years. It happened right now. It's working. It's working in 2 areas.
Yeah.
The year's not over yet. So we will see FSD 14 coming to the road.
This month is
maybe we will see
some
some Optimi working in a factory, which will make it completely epic. And we will see a merger with XAI. Well, not a merger, but like a small stake.
Yeah.
Which will make Tesla the biggest AI company, real-world AI company in the world already. And Master Plan 4 has been presented. So
yeah, so it's an epic year.
We have been waiting for Master Plan 4 as well. Yeah, and in terms of profits or revenue, it's not epic at all. But I don't think that's what we're looking for. If you're looking, looking for like evidence of whether this year is epic in the terms that Elon was talking about.
Yeah. What Tesla is becoming, as I said a little bit earlier, is becoming more utilitarian, highly disciplined company, like your experience in the Tesla factory, right? So maybe you have seen that news, but one of the XAI employees went to OpenAI and copied all the source code of XAI. Yep. So Elon waked up to a world where AI is like the most competitive warfare that has ever been in humankind. Mm-hmm. Because if you think about it, what are right now the biggest companies when it comes to market cap? Besides of Nvidia, which is a AI company, you have Amazon, you have Meta, you have Google,
Palantir maybe.
No, but let's say those 3. So Meta, Facebook, and Amazon has been the most profitable companies, for the last decade, right? Mm-hmm. What are they doing with all their money? They're plowing it into AI. Yeah. And GPUs, AI talent. So the war on talent is insane, right?
The stakes are high.
Mark Zuckerberg offered compensation packages of $250 million to sort of top engineers that didn't want to leave XAI because they want to work for Elon's mission. So those offers are like crazy for like the top talented people.
And yet you hear so little about it. But Elon's
how does it
compensation.
work? I mean, the transfer window for our soccer season just ended here in Europe.
Yeah.
And the Premier League, they got like a record level of transfers.
Mm-hmm.
So the total amount of transfers for soccer players was 3.5 billion.
Yep.
So there are amounts paid per person for like 150 million for Isaac, 150 million for Florian Swiertz. Only Liverpool already on 3 players, they spent 500 million.
Yeah.
And everybody's looking at this like, this is crazy, you know? But that's a capitalized amount. So you buy a player, you put it on the balance sheet, you can actually...
can immediately deploy it and use it.
No, and it's written off in 5 years. So you have like 40 million a year in your budget and you will earn that back, etc.
Yeah.
But how does it work with AI employees which are being scouted for 150 million? Who's paid 150 million and in what way? Is it like a one-off or is it like 150 million a year? Or
all sorts of different compensation packages that they have. So it's pure cash elements are actually on the table, stock options, of course, and the whole
probably all stock options.
No, but also cash elements. So they actually wanted to pay hard cash to sort of talents to join or the top engineers. But my whole point of this is that all the money that those top market cap companies have been earning is now being plowed into AI. So also when it comes to secrecy of projects and also the competitive in the EV landscape has become insanely high. So Elon and Tesla has becoming more and more secretive about all the things they are developing. So 10 years ago, it was like Elon leaking a lot, talking a lot about new developments, but they keep their cards so close in the chest
because it's so competitive.
And they said like,
but I thought you were going to this story that I learned as well, but I don't know if you learned that Elon actually poached people from Facebook or from Meta, like 7 or 8, without giving them any bonus, just for the mission.
And those people want to join that mission. So that's very telling in and of itself.
Exactly.
They see a lot more potential.
That's the same as Liverpool saying, we want a striker, and there's a striker coming for €0.
Yeah.
Like, that's not happening.
Yeah. No. But it's, of course...
but that's strange that in the most competitive market that we're witnessing right now, there are actually people going from one of the competitors to the other for €0.
And that says something about Tesla and their mission and their advantage they have over the others.
Yeah, and
I think it says more about Elon because a mission is nice, right? But first of all, Elon talks to all those persons himself. So he has no other people that are
doing the hiring for him.
How cool is it to build what we've been presented in the master plan in like a picture?
Yeah, to be part of it.
Picture tells a lot of things.
Yeah.
How cool is it to build this new world? And a real world driven by AI. I mean,
that is of course super cool, but I think if you want to make the comparison to soccer,
it's even more cooler to work for Elon.
No, if you make the comparison with soccer, right?
Zuckerberg.
Soccer.
Oh, soccer.
Football.
Football. You're talking
soccer. Yeah.
No soccer. We're talking about soccer.
Zuckerberg.
So let's say you're a very ambitious
soccer
player, or you're a very ambitious AI talent. At Liverpool, at the helm of Liverpool is now Arne Slot, the Dutch coach, right? And he's a phenomenal communicator. He's a phenomenal visionary.
He's a winner.
Is a winner. And he said, listen, this is how we're going to win the Champions League this year. And this is your role in this thing. I've analyzed your game. And if I put you on the half sides and he convinces you with a very detailed, in-depth plan and motivation of how they're going to execute on that and how your role is going to be in this transformative team, right?
Okay, I didn't know that, but...
Okay. It's both Elon and Arne Slot are very famous for sort of talking to very highly appreciated talents.
Leadership style and ways of
Yeah,
communicating.
so back in the days when Arne Slot was coach of Feyenoord, for example, they talked to a couple of transfer subjects for Feyenoord. And even players that did not find Feyenoord attractive as a club to join said, well, Arne Slot was so convincing in his approach to me with so many details, with like video shots of what he could improve on you as a player, how you would fit in their success and all that. And that is also, of course, the level of detail that Elon talks to those guys. And he just throws a very complex problem at these guys, like how you want to solve this, for example, very complex equation. This is how I think about it. How do you think about it? I want you to solve these specific sets of problems that we have. And that contributes to the mission. So a mission alone is exciting, but everybody can, cool marketeers can come up with missions all the time. But you need to be really convinced of the possibility of that mission to happen.
Yeah.
And more important, your role in that whole thing. So how are you going to
help in getting that mission into reality?
To get the mission in reality. And that's, of course, then so exciting. If you then see we have this team of 50 others that are like...
So it's not only Tesla, it's not only the whole thing they already built, but it's Elon.
Yeah.
The whole compensation package for November is going to be very, very important.
Yeah. So
and that's why it's not epic yet, 2025. I mean, it's already, but...
So it's 99.8% epic.
So Elon is let's say 60-70% responsible for that. Mm-hmm. But then Elon also has many very awesome challenges that they can work on, and he gives them also a lot of room. So a lot of AI talent did not want to work for Tesla anymore because they sort of said, well, the biggest hurdles are already done. We don't want to be in the nitty-gritty stuff that's for other people. I want to move on to bolder projects. And then Elon has many of those bold projects in XAI. We have not talked about MacroHard yet, but MacroHard is like a awesome thing to work on. To just
I have no clue what you're talking about.
You don't know it?
MacroHard?
Yeah, it's a new company.
MacroHard. MacroHard. I have not seen.
Or do you want to work for Microsoft?
You have this other company called Microsoft.
Do you want to work for Microsoft, Kees, or MacroHard?
Let's make it hard.
What Elon said, Microsoft is essentially there is no hardware involved. So if there's no hardware involved, it's actually pretty easy to actually copy that whole company.
Yeah.
So he made a project within XAI to build in the next Microsoft.
And the running name is MacroHard?
MacroHard.
MacroHard.
That's funny as fuck.
Yeah,
that's funny as fuck.
And he says it's completely possible because
it's very easy.
It's very easy to actually build them.
And this is why I want to see you guys more often, because otherwise I would have completely this.
Kees, we have been waiting for you all the time here. So
I love you guys.
Yeah. No, but that's one of the amazing things that they have been working on. So AI talent is then you having actually expertise on the hardware. Everybody knows within the whole AI ecosystem is that compute and hardware is a bottleneck, right? And if you're, let's say you're AI engineer and the talent, and you got invited for a discussion about your future, right? You're one of the top 25 AI engineers, top leaders in the world. You got flight in, you arrive. And then Elon welcomes you and gives you a small tour around Colossus, where they build that whole hardware stuff, And they just talk about chips and wiring and all this kind of engineering stuff. And then say you want to work here. And the compensation, those guys, I remember having engineers in my team and they got more excited about having a new computer screen than having a good compensation package. Those things matter a lot to those absolute top people. They want to talk to an engineer, not to some boring finance
and to an engineer who truly understands the issue at the
so
same
we need
level
like
as
the Mino Raiolas of the soccer business. We need them for the engineers.
Of course.
Maybe that's something for
Elon,
you.
Elon is that. Elon is that.
No, but Elon is like the Arne Slot. But we need like people
but
who are
he's also the top engineer in Tesla.
True. And Arne Slot is not the top footballer.
Not the top footballer.
Soccer player.
Zwolle player.
I love how we're mixing like really practical soccer explanations for what's happening in AI.
Actually, Kees, to our American audience, but basically everything that goes on in life, you have a soccer analogy for that, right?
Yes.
You can have soccer analogies for almost everything.
Well, if I'm not listening to anything around Tesla, I'm listening to something about soccer. So
yeah,
especially with my two sons right now, they're 11 and 13, and everything is soccer.
Yeah.
It's like they know all the stats, even better than Arne, I think.
Yeah, well, maybe they can hire them, because that's also a trend in football, that they are hiring more and more sort of outsider views that know everything about data and all that are sort of enriching that game. But that's a very exciting thing. But back to Elon's role in recruitment, let's say, or Elon's role in attracting, but also and maintaining. Because Elon is just one of the most awesome employers apparently to work for, because he sets the bar like insane high. Make sure the team's got the resource and all that. You got so many, of course, you see people leaving the company, but you also got so many people that are working there for 5, 10, 15.
Or leaving the company and then coming back to the company.
Coming back again. Yeah. So it's
even here in the Netherlands.
Yeah, I have one or two names right at the top of my head. Yeah. That's why I say it.
Yeah, so it's not only vision. Vision is important. Mission is important.
Yeah.
But but
leadership and charisma and
but if that's not backed up by reality,
there's still like a key man risk in Tesla.
Yeah.
So it's still Elon. It also, I think, the multiple on the stock right now is completely Elon based.
Yeah.
We have
So do you know about the what was it, the one man, or is it the strong man? Like if we look at history, right? So then you see that there are periods of time where there was one person with a very big will and vision that pushed sort of humanity forward. Yeah. And there's always debates in history, like it's not only the person, it's all the technology,
also the environment
and
timing.
So what comes first? But I do think we're now in a very unique situation where sort of the whole concept of good functioning countries are grinding to a halt, right?
Yeah.
So we see the West struggling with
Europe is run by retards. So
but there's no vision, and it's like basically like you have, from my point of view, two type of persons. You have people that views the world as static, and those people tend to see like, well, there's one pie that we have, and we need to make sure the pie is distributed equally.
Yeah.
And then there's a group of people that don't see the world as a static thing. They also see the possibilities of building new categories, new pies. And that's also what Elon mentioned in his master plan part 4. Growth is an infinite thing.
It's infinite, yeah.
Growth doesn't have to be one other group being restricted from something.
Less well off, yeah.
Less well off, where we can create things that we all are better off with. I personally find it one of the most inspiring things to be an entrepreneur as well.
So it's going to be abundant and sustainable.
So we're not trying to, let's say 16th century capitalism, going with a ship to another continent, just like raiding everything that you see and then bring it back home.
Stealing shit for our gain and then depriving the others from progress, yeah?
Yeah, and sort of crushing everything else.
We were actually pretty good at it. We as Dutchmen.
We
were very good at it.
We had quite a footprint.
I've seen some history as well.
I think you're like the central theme here is like, is it the man or is it the environment? Like, is it agency or is it structure?
Yeah.
To me, it's very clear that Elon is a very good sign of agency and as opposing to structure, because he had the vision and the guts
and the grit and
the grit to actually
yeah.
make that shit happen. Because if he wouldn't have pushed forward, we would have just still been the same as in 2010.
Yeah, with so many resistors, right? Yeah. It's still incredible how they made it happen.
He gets up every day.
Yeah. So
but the resistance is from the people who are static.
Yeah, are static.
And,
exactly.
And they're looking at the world and they're looking, whoa, if this is going to happen, then we are out of business.
Yeah, but he is going to be like the figure in history where the change originated from. Like he is the one who, or at least.
So let's say
the main character.
I was actually pretty surprised by the FSD in Australia, which has been launched like last week.
Yeah, last week Friday.
The mass media was so positive about it.
Finally. But media in Australia tends to be a little bit better than in Europe, is how I see Sky News.
No, but that's an example of what we are already used to, is that everything in the mass media in the rest of the world is against Elon.
Yeah.
Well, that's also because X is a competitor of mass media. So it's not crazy that there's a lot of resistance.
It's not crazy at all, no.
And I think there are also... This could be the moment that Elon is also getting more word out about FSD, how good it is, into mass media and actually becoming more friends with them. But I don't know if this is going to be the moment that is actually going to happen, or that he still stays on his hard-lined approach about we are the media. And
I don't see. I see the incentive of mass media not being aligned, of telling the truth and serving the people. Mm-hmm. So for me, that we talk about mass media, or let's say legacy media, is why we're talking about this. That's literally old news.
Yeah.
And I think right now, where you see nation states sort of declining in the power that they have, also a lot of difficulties in maintaining their positions, etc. Yeah. You now have a unique position where a visionary has the resources and the manufacturing footprint to actually make things happen, bring us to Mars, making the world, creating sustainable abundance with those products. And whole institutes, countries will have less and less influence in making that. It's
a shift in global power. So, like the nation state and the governing bodies have reached their limits, and now we're seeing the big corporations and the big side, masterminds.
And you see that.
Yeah, but that's exactly the point I'm trying to make. Is that. With the technology being able to be as good as we, there will be, if you talk about numbers, if we want to scale the robotaxi from 50 cars we have right now to 1 million, there will be fatalities.
Yep.
So the fatalities will be put into mass media, and a lot more than for example, Waymo. Why is Waymo not as put in the spotlight as Tesla with regards to fatalities? It's because Elon is the competitor of the mass media.
Yeah, of course.
Elon is seen as the Antichrist.
So there is a case also for Elon to build kind of a bridge.
Yeah.
I've
in order to get to this mission of sustainable abundance, because we need to get the perception out of the world that, of course, there will be a fatality, but that's not the reason to actually burn the whole technology.
Nope.
How many years does Elon think ahead? Like at least 10 years, right? In his work.
At least.
With regards to?
I've been going through data of media usage over the last couple of weeks, and guess what the median age is of of legacy media usage, so newspapers.
I think
and
50 plus.
To give an exact figure, I think it's 57, the median.
It's almost 70.
No way.
Yeah.
The median?
The median, yeah.
So the average?
Yeah,
No,
it's for sure. It's
right.
my dad's generation. This is the biggest generation in the Western world, right?
Yeah.
The baby boomers generation. They're in their 70s, and they are a very big part of the population. They are a very big part of now top positions in companies being held.
And also people who have the most capital.
And what is the average age of YouTube and podcast? It's 34. So there's a huge gap in media usage. But people in power, let's say, top positions. Just look at the US, right? President Trump is almost 80 years old. Nancy Pelosi is almost 90 years old. What are those people still doing in those positions? That's sort of ridiculous.
How old is Putin?
Putin is...
Do you mean Putin or one of his 5 clones?
Yeah. No, but the point I'm making is that it's already obsolete, but they still have a very old use base that are still having that. Yeah. And the point I was making, like Elon is in that position of doing that. And in the same time, you see sort of uprising of the people that are saying like, hold on, institution, hold on, country representatives. What have you been doing to our money that we spent in tax, right? So Elon is very much involved into everything that is going on in the UK right now.
Yeah, UK and Germany. He's very active in that sense.
Especially UK. And he makes the case like if there's no uprise right now of the people coming.
I was actually quite surprised by his tweet of this morning.
Which one?
He said it should stop now. And it was like...
the rape of...
there was like an Afghan rape in Germany of a 12-year-old by an Afghan, and he was released, and 12 days later he raped a 11-year-old.
No way.
And it was like in the Daily Mail. So I was like, because what happened with Lisa like a week ago in the Netherlands, it's also big news and everybody talking about it. And I wanted to dig deeper. So I went to search for that title, but that news is 5 years old.
Okay.
And I'm like, Elon, why are you reposting this? I mean, this is this is not.
There are some people.
There are some words like this should stop now.
Yeah.
But this is not anything new. For me, it was like, hey, is there another case again?
Yeah.
In Germany, no, it's an old case from 5 years ago. So I'm a little bit. How do you say it? Teleurgesteld?
Yeah, disappointed.
Disappointed in what is he doing?
He makes those mistakes from time to time. And also where he sometimes reposts something which is fake news or turns out to be fake news at a later stage. So that's why you get a lot of community notes. But then like the word is already out there and you're setting a narrative. So I kind of get your
He's
disappointment.
also trigger friendly with his...
He's very he's very trigger happy, like, oh, share. But like we're humans and we make mistakes.
Exactly.
But like when he makes a mistake, 20 million people see it.
Yeah, but I always am in the... veronderstelling, in the... Assumption that he is always right,
Yeah.
So it was like one of my first times that I was like, whoa.
Well, it's sometimes he keeps you sharp, and that's also a good thing, right?
But I think...
but finally happy, that's what I'd say.
But besides of being right on that case, I think there are a couple of sort of big trends that Elon is hammering on.
Yeah, of course.
So one of them is population decline, birth rates collapsing.
Yeah.
And if the birth rate... Let's say if you have not your let's say population not creating kids anymore, and you compensate the people, so there are actually in many countries now more people dying that people are being born, and you replace them with migrants and
people from a
but let's say well-willing migrants for the case.
Let's just keep it positive. But you're replacing your constituency and the people that live there. Like you lose your culture and you lose your whole
so for
social
example,
fabric.
I was in Sicily and I was in Italy last year, and I've worked there 20 years ago, and I always a big fan of Italian culture. Now I'm coming to a coffee bar, and the coffee bar where I get my typical Italian cappuccino and espresso with a nice cornetti, the small croissant on the side, is being made by somebody from India or some, and then taste it as this is not like the real proper Italian thing. So
the same happens
when you don't have the people anymore. You also lose those kind of small cultures.
Yeah, and the same is happening on a big scale in Spain. It's very visible in the time span of 3 to 4 years. Actually, I've been going to Spain a lot, and I've noticed these differences. I've been going to Germany a lot as well. Same is happening in Germany. So it is really a problem. And
if you go to a restaurant in Amsterdam, you cannot talk Dutch with most of the waiters.
No, and that has been like that for multiple years already. So it's too late already. And right now, when we're nearing the extremes, then all of a sudden it becomes a problem. And everything what people would say against immigration or migration would be considered as far right, right-wing, fascist. But I think a lot of people are coming back from that right now because it's becoming very visible.
I see more people standing up for themselves and what they want to represent, right? So
it's a dangerous road.
That's a thing that you then have. And if you, let's say, pay very high taxes like we do in Europe, and you're sort of netting okay, what are we getting back for this? For example, in the Netherlands, roads are excellent. A lot of facilities are great. You can bring your kids to school.
Right now, they still are, yeah.
Life in general is very safe. But if those things are starting to deteriorate, people will start asking questions.
It's actually...
that's a normal thing.
Did you learn about what's happening in Japan? That they lost 1 million people?
Yeah.
So next year also, at least...
Yeah,
and a year after as well. So I'm very curious to learn how Japan is going to solve all this.
Well, it's a global problem. So you see a couple of countries from Africa that has still very high birth rates, like in the 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And replacement rate is a little bit below 2, so 1.8, 1.9. And currently, many Western countries are on 0.1. So we're actually, for every 2 humans that are now on Earth, there's 1 coming back. That's basically the average that we're...
That's why we need the robots.
Huh?
That's why we need the robots.
Yeah, and we need more of this. And we need more pregnancies.
Yeah, well...
Kees, what are you still doing here, man?
Yeah, well...
Well, I'm getting a hard on right now, so I need to know.
MacroHard?
It's going from Microsoft to MacroHard.
but my thing is...
Well, let's stop there.
It's been 5 o'clock already, so I need to do something.
I would say
5
this
past 5.
is still one of the most underestimated problems in the world, and it will become very visible in the next 5 to 10 years.
100%, definitely, yeah.
So hold your horse and see you next week.
See each other next week, guys. Looking forward.
Yes. Good luck.